Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to paint my Vulpix binder. This binder is a long-term goal of mine. It's essentially every Vulpix printed in German, English, Japanese, Korean and Chinese. At least that is what I'm trying to go for now. Although I'm not too sure about the Chinese. For now it's more Japanese and Korean. But yeah, as you can see, I don't have too many cards. But I'm just starting, so that's fine. Plus I don't want to just buy them, I want to find them. My favorite one is definitely the Mega Evolutions Full Art. But there's some really cute other ones in there too that I love. And this binder is just way too plain. Like, it looks like most of my other binders, so I decided to just make it less plain and actually make it my Vulpix binder. So I printed out my favorite simple Vulpix pose, and my plan here is to paint a Vulpix and a lowland Vulpix on the front, just in decently small. I don't want like a full art, at least not yet. I just want a simple little cover. So what I'm doing is I'm just using a normal run-of-the-mill pencil, and I color in the back so that when I trace over it from the front, it will leave markings, and this works super well for most part. This binder base is first of all a little bit rough, so that made it a little bit harder because it's like fabric, and it's a little dark, but I could still work with the outline, so that worked. But yeah, on the right I'm going to start out with a normal Vulpix, which is gonna take a little bit more time because it has a lot more going on, like color-wise. A little Vulpix is more so like white and blue, while the standard OG Vulpix is of course like many tones of orange and brown. So I decided to start off with this one because first of all that's the one I'm more familiar with painting, and second of all, I don't know, it just felt right starting with the original. So I'm just painting like a base coat here, and this will take like multiple coats for a lot of the larger areas. It's again a textured binder with fabric, so the colors do cover, but like because of the texture, going over it twice makes the colors more vibrant and actually fully cover. And I'm using Vallejo model paints here mixed with a little bit of water, so it's not as viscous. And these work super great, I found, for like painting tiny details. And I'm also using very thin brushes here. These Vulpix aren't that large. So I really wanted to also take my time. Plus, again, with the texture, I wasn't too sure how larger brushes would work on this and if I could get clean edges. So the smaller brushes are definitely gonna help. I'm also using my heat gun in between because this will take some time to paint. And it will take some time to dry with the water in the paint, but yeah, that's just the normal process. And this all this video is gonna be just casual painting. This painting took me like 4 hours in total, so not too long. But I wanted to throw that in here because I've had a lot of fun painting this, and frankly I've been working on some larger and longer projects over the last few weeks, so having like something that's quick to edit and just like relaxing as a project in between really helped. Like the Disney Doorables house took me over 2 weeks to actually finish. Same with some of my other projects. I have an LPS costume that took forever to finish, and it takes a really long time to edit those. And you know, with work and all that coming in between, it's like really nice to have just a less stakes video in between once in a while. So that's this. Plus I think that speed paints once in a while can also be really relaxing to watch. But I'm not gonna explain much. Essentially what I'm gonna do here is I'm painting the base colors, then I'm mixing in a little bit of a yellowish cream tone for the highlights, and for the shadows I'm mixing a little bit of a bluish tone in for the body and for the feet, and yeah, that's essentially all that I'm doing. And then I'm going around just section by section and wet blending and making sure I had like shadows and highlights, just very casually. And essentially the same for the Alone and Vulpix. The one thing I'm doing in the end, since I have some edges where I got some paint where I didn't want it to, is I'm just gonna use an X-Acto knife and try and scratch off the paint very carefully without like ruining the fabric, which was a bit scary, but I couldn't get most of the paper off, but I could get a decent bit off, so you can hardly tell that there was paint, so it's fine. But yeah, I was really careful here to not overpaint, but it happens when you paint sometimes, especially on a textured piece. I don't know. It was definitely not that easy to not get paint. I didn't want to, and you can see I don't have the crispest of edges. I'm actually going in with a just a standard fine liner that's waterproof, I guess, to outline this in the end, and that will help keep the details a little bit more. But yeah, you can already see here the edges are a slight bit feathered. They're pretty crisp, but they're a slight bit feathered from the texture. So since I'm using a very fine liner, you will always see a little bit of excess, and that's just what I'm trying to get rid of in the end with a knife. But for now, I'm just really enjoying painting, and I actually was really happy with the outcome. So yeah, I'm gonna actually end my talking here in this video earlier, and I'm just gonna literally let the rest of the video run. So let me know in the comments down below, is there one Pokemon that you would love to collect at least all the artworks of? I actually have more than just Vulpix where I want to collect all the artworks of, but Vulpix is my main one where I really try to get a master set of the different languages. And for the others, I really just love to collect a lot of all the different artworks, just casually. And also let me know what you think of like this simple style of binder decoration. I know a lot of people will paint like the entire front page of binders and it can look great, but I in this case I really love this simple style. So yeah, just write me a little comment if you want to. You don't have to, but I'm always really happy reading your guys' comments, your guys' input. I've got a handy lot of tips in my comments already that help me better and improve my projects. But yeah, with that, as always, I hope you have a great day, enjoy the rest of the video, and hopefully see you next time. Bye bye!